Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another lesson. Photo 1, Friday, October 16th, 2020, Lesson 15, New Words. To shoot, shot, shot. Boater, to boat, boateth, boateth. Dead, alive. Definitions: advantage, disadvantage, and sometimes you are going to hear advantage, disadvantage. To agree with, agree with. Agriculture, to break the news, news that are not always good news. Candidate. Photo 2, crop, defense, development, education. To elect, elected, elected, election, electricity, electricity. I prefer the first one, electricity. Ever before, foreign. To inform, informed, informed, information. I didn't write the pronunciation because you already know it. Information. In office, like a person working with the government. In order to. Investment. Investor. Thank you. Photo 3, necessary. To offer, offered, offered. To organize, organized, organized. Otherwise, the synonym could be if not. Percent. And remember that percentage is not separated. Percent. To plant, planted, planted. Deport, to re-elect, re-elected, re-elected. Photo 4, result. Just a moment, please, because we have here to write this. Excuse me. Result, reward, strike, successful, with the accent here, successful, successfully. Underwear, employment, unemployment. Boat, worth it. To study English, worth it, because you can use it in a lot of places, the applications for working, scholarships, etc. Go. Photo 5, lesson 15, grammar summary. The passive voice, simple past versus present perfect. Let's remember that we use the simple past in a definite time or definite action that is finished 100%. Finished 100%. The present perfect is used with an indefinite time or indefinite action, and that may go on. Can continuous, can go on. Thank you. Photo 6, example. He was elected last week. Here is the definite time. When? Last week. What happened? He was elected. Right here is the simple past. He has been elected. When? We don't know. That's why it is indefinite time. And right here also is the present perfect with the passive voice. The passive voice with the present perfect. Photo 7. Nouns formed from verbs. These nouns are going to be ending in meant, Asian, or shown. With or from many verbs, we can form nouns. Example, to invite, invitation. Thank you so much. Okay, let's read the new words with me. New words: to shoot, voter, to vote, deaf, alive, advantage, a better opportunity that someone else has, to agree with, to say that you think the same as someone else, agriculture, the farm industry, to break the news, to tell someone something they probably won't want to hear, candidate, a person who wants to be elected to a position, usually with the government. Crop, what you plant, corn and wheat are crops. This year's crop is bigger than last year's. Defense, being ready to protect yourself if another country starts a war or someone starts a fight. Development, something that happens slowly over a long time or that is made carefully and slowly. Education, what you learn, usually in school. He has a good education equals he's learned a lot, schools, teachers, etc. Our government spends a lot on education. To elect, to choose by voting. Election, a time when people vote. Electricity, what makes electric machines, lamps, radios, etc. work. Ever before, emphatic, before. We usually use this to compare something, an event, etc., with what happened in the past. More people voted in this election than ever before. Foreign, from another country. To inform, to tell someone about something. Information, what someone knows about something. She has a lot of information about the election. What you learned about something. I got a lot of information from her. In office, having a position in government. Prince Abdul was in office until this year. In order to plus infinitive, we went to the party in order to have a good time. Investment, money invested, money that makes more money. Investor, someone who invests. Necessary, needed, important. To offer, to say that you are willing to give something or to do something. To organize, to arrange. Otherwise, if not. Percent, we use this to compare amounts. 1% equals 1/100th of a whole thing. 100% equals the whole thing. To plant, to put trees, flowers, etc. in the ground so they will grow. The poor, all the poor people. To re-elect, to elect again. Result, what you get at the end of a problem, again, an election. We weren't happy about the result of the election because our candidate lost. Reward, what you get when you do something well or when you find something that someone lost. I offered a thank you reward to anyone who found my wallet. Strike, when workers stop working because they want higher salaries, better working conditions, etc. Successful, having success. Note, successful in, plus present participle. I was successful in finding a job. When you're using successful in, please use a verb with past participle. Finding, working, studying, cooking, painting, underwear, underpants, undershirt, bra, etc. Unemployment. When people can't get jobs, unemployment was at 8% equals 8% of the workers in the country couldn't get jobs. Vote. What a voter gives to the candidate she chooses. John Bull got more than 7 million votes. Worth. What people should be willing to pay. The ring was worth 5,000 Q, but it was on sale for 3,500. Good or important enough. Is it worth dying for? Note, worth it equals, even if it is difficult or costs a lot, it's not too difficult or expensive. I work hard, but it's worth it. Okay, with this vocabulary, I want you to do what you always do. Questions, sentences, personal opinions, commentaries, etc. And after finishing this, I'm going to tell you what you are going to do. Thanks. Okay. When you finish this oral practice, listen to the CD, to the audio, and after listening the audio, one of you is the interviewer, and the other one is the president, and read it, and also read the mini conversations, and after that, do the conversation practice, please. And if you can, in any questions, maybe you can give some personal opinions. The idea is to go on speaking English as much as you can, according to the time. Thanks. Okay, may I explain you the exercise? Make 10 sentences ad lib. You don't always have to use a word or expression from each group, but I'm going to give you an example and then you can combine them. The candidate agreed to give electricity to the poor because of high unemployment. Thank you. Y aquí les voy a dar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do the developing your skills. Please, before doing the developing your skills, read and analyze grammar summary. 1. The passive voice, simple past versus present perfect. Remember that the simple past tells about a definite time or an action that is finished. The present perfect tells about an indefinite time or an action that may still be going on. Both may be used in the passive voice. They elected a new president. A new president was elected. They've elected a new president. A new president has been elected. Right here is the passive voice in the simple past, in the passive voice with the past participle. He was elected last week. Definite time. He has been elected. Indefinite time because we have no idea when he has been elected. A lot of people were arrested during the elections. Finished action, no more. They were arrested, no more action. A lot of people have been arrested since the elections. Action that is still going on because they are still arresting some people. Nouns formed from verbs. Please notice these endings: meant, Asian, shown. To develop, development. To equip, equipment. To invest, investment. To apply, application. To inform, information. to invite, invitation, to elect, election, to invent, invention, to suggest, suggestion. And then open the cue book, chart number 6, and you are going to practice here the passive voice with the present perfect. Example, the crops have been burned by the army. And here, let me remember you the past participles: broken, worn out, stolen, burned, frozen, used, typed, turned, hidden, rented, arrested, painted, interviewed. And the example, the crops have been burned by the army. Remember that the number 2 is in singular, so use that fork has. He, she, and it has. Exercise B. Write the correct passive form of the verb in parentheses. Simple past or present perfect. I need you to write, for example, was designed or was being designed. Can you see? Simple past, present perfect. Check and see again the grammar summary. Thank you. Reading. Do you know something? It's very important to read the readings for future lecture exams, but also for reading comprehension. Look at the pictures too. They are talking to us or showing to us what is the reading about. Good evening, and here is the news brought to you by Brian X. Today, President Julian Weiss of Moronia was re-elected for the 3rd time. Weiss won by fewer than 500 votes, and some of the other candidates are saying that the elections were fixed. The army has been called in to stop the strikes and demonstrations that have been organized all over the country because of the election results. It is hoped by the government that they will successfully in stopping the strikes quickly. Otherwise, even greater trouble is expected. 20 people have drowned and 35 others have been badly injured in this year's worst air disaster. An Air Moronia plane carrying 100 passengers fell into the Mediterranean Sea last night near the island of Crete. 80 passengers were saved after some Greek fishermen on a ship nearby heard their urgent calls for help. The passengers were taken to the port of Kenya. Most of the injured were from Moronia. They will be flown home to their families as soon as possible. Glitters, the large jewelry store on Swan Street was robbed early this morning by robbers wearing only their underwear. One salesman was shot and a customer was pushed down the stairs when she refused to give them her diamond necklace. The salesman, John Seller of 471 Grand Street, is in serious condition at a Hopewell hospital. Jewels worth more than 5 million Q were stolen from the store. The robbers, 2 men and a woman, ran away, taking the store manager with them. He was found alive late this afternoon in the trunk of the car used by the robbers. When asked about the robbery, all he could say was, in their underwear, at Glitters. In order to solve this robbery, all roads, ports, and airports are being watched and reward of 50,000 Q has been offered for any information that could help the police. Location equals place where something is. Here, fixed means arranged. To call in this reading means to bring together, usually to help do something. Demonstration here means when people get together to show everyone how angry they are about something. For example, what's happening in Costa Rica right now. To injure means to hurt. Okay, after reading, please do about the conversation. Test yourself. In this test yourself, let's apply again the simple past and the present perfect with the passive voice. Look, right here is last night. Immediately you see this last night is referring to the simple past. So, another plane, simple past, present perfect. And because right here is last night, was hijacked last night. Thank you. Okay, let's open the student book and give long answers. Talk about the latest news in Costa Rica or in the world. Ooh, you really have a lot to say, for example, about the number one. And thank you. Well, my dear students, thank you very much. But also I want to tell you that I feel very grateful because I know that you are doing your best. See you soon.